Hi, everyone. Good evening and welcome back to my Parenting SOS, Surviving and Thriving During COVID-19. And I want to start this evening actually by giving another huge shout out to all of the people in my community and communities throughout the UK for going outside. 30 minutes ago, we had a big cheer for the NHS and all of the amazing people working in the hospitals to help keep us healthy and safe. And that's not just the doctors and nurses, it's all the people involved, keeping the hospitals clean and the administrators and just everyone that's there, and all the people that are supporting the NHS workers by providing them with food. And, it's just amazing to go outside and clap and cheer and hear everyone in my community clapping and cheering. So I wanted to start off with that positive. So for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, my name is Joy Marchese and I'm the founder of Positive Discipline UK. And I've been here the past 2 weeks sharing some strategies and tools for parents to help survive and hopefully thrive during this challenging time. And I've been an educator for over 20 years. I've been a parent educator, teacher trainer. I've worked in corporate. So I'm really just sharing my experience in all of those areas. So I hope that this helps. And I want to thank all of you that have been tuning in. I do want to let you know that after tonight, our 10 top tools and strategies we'll have covered. And tomorrow night, I'm really excited. And I know it's a Friday night, and I hope you can join me and Jane Nelson, the co-creator of Positive Discipline and the author of the Positive Discipline series. She's sold millions and millions of books, and she's going to be here live with me to answer all of your questions. So I hope that you'll join. And please, I'll remind you at the end, but please do send me your questions. So either send them in the comments after this, or during or after this session, or email me at joy@positivediscipline.co.uk. And Jane and I will be answering as many questions as we can tomorrow. And we'll extend it a little bit tomorrow so we can go a bit longer to answer everyone's questions. After tomorrow night, I will be slowing down the pace a little bit. I called this Parenting SOS because I was getting so many emails and questions from parents and colleagues and asking for help. And I thought that these 2 weeks would be really important to give the foundation and set the stage. But after this week, I'll just be coming to you one night a week live on Tuesday evenings to just give you some continued support and encouragement. So last night, and I'll give a shout out. Hi, Liza, my sister's on tonight. Hi, Lexi and Mom. So lots of family on tonight. I've told them they all need to be here tonight because this tool is for everyone, even people that don't have children. If you're in a couples relationship, it can be for friendships, for roommates. So this tool is something that anyone who is living with someone right now should be using. It is my favorite Positive Discipline tool, and it's family meetings. Before we move on to today's tool, last night we covered, and this is really connected with family meetings, we covered problem solving and focusing on solutions. So I'm just wondering if any of you were able to have faith in your children today and let them solve their own problems, or did you do any problem solving with them today? I'd love to hear. I'm just going to close out my notifications. Okay, so I just had a technical glitch. Oh dear, did I just stop, Max? Max, I just stopped. No, okay, sorry. I just hit a button and everything went away. So I'm back. See, I'm still getting used to this. So please share if you found that helpful, the problem solving, and we're going to use that tonight. So family meetings, the reason they are so important is they are such a valuable tool to help families learn how to speak to each other respectfully. It helps them connect on a deeper level, and it's really an opportunity to teach all of the characteristics and life skills that we really want for our children so that they can be happy, successful, contributing members of society, to really be good human beings. Family meetings, it brings everything we've done the past 2 weeks together. So there's a few things I want to go over with you when we talk about family meetings and preparing for them. So before you even start having family meetings, some of you may have done them before and you stopped, and now you're thinking about getting back into them. Some of you have no idea what I'm talking about. So I want to give you some really important bits before we talk about the agenda and how to do them. So number one, you need to decide as a family with your children, okay? When you will have them and how long they will be. So will you have them? Typically, we recommend that you have them once a week, at least with your families. And once a week seems to be really manageable. And we recommend no longer than 20 minutes. However, during this time, most of the time I hear from parents, well, I don't have time, our schedules are so packed and so busy, we don't have time for family meetings. Well, there's kind of no excuse now, okay? We all have, I don't want to say we have all the time in the world, but we're home, we're together, no one's traveling, we can do this. And what I would recommend during this time is actually, if you can do it every day, at least 5 days a week, maybe take a break on the weekends, it could be one of the greatest things that you do. So out of all the tools that I've shared this week, I would say this is the one to really apply. So first you want to, and I want to give a shout out, hello from Qatar. We have people calling in from all over the world, so it's really exciting to see people since I'm not traveling right now. It helps me feel connected. So number one, when will you have it and for how long? So when, how often will you have it? So decide that as a family. Then where will it be? Where will it take place? It really is helpful to have it, sitting around a table. I will say that as far as having it after dinner is a great time. We recommend not having it during dinner. You don't want to be distracted by eating. And if you have it after dinner, do it when the dishes are cleared and everyone's, kind of ready. You can have some snacks or treats or finger food, but don't have a whole meal happening. You also have to come up with some agreements for family meetings. So we recommend having a talking item some people call it a talking stick. I don't like to call it a talking stick because I find when people use something that's like a stick, they like point at others and it feels really accusatory. So I like to have something, a cuddly toy, something that gets passed around, and you make an agreement that the person that's holding the item is the one that has the floor. They're the one that's speaking, so that we can really create a democratic society where everyone can be heard without interruptions and really have a voice. Another agreement that you might want to talk about is what jobs will happen. What jobs do you want? You can have someone that is scribing. If your kids are old enough to write, let them take the notes and take the minutes. You want to have a chairperson, and kids love being in charge of family meetings. If your kids go to a school where they're doing classroom meetings, they probably already know how to do this. Let them teach you. You might have a job, someone's responsible for snacks. You need to have a timekeeper. And if you have children under the age of 4, we recommend that actually you don't have them participating in the family meeting per se. You can have them at the table, they're doing something quiet, coloring, but they can actually have the job to be the timekeeper if you set an egg timer and they're in charge of that. So you're starting to get them involved. They just don't have the attention span to really sit and focus. So be mindful of that. If you have really young kids and you're doing this as a couple, you can have the child in the room doing, again, reading, coloring, doing something quiet so that they can listen to the language that you're using with each other and already start to become familiar with the procedure so that it becomes the norm of what they do. It really helps with buy-in. You might want to have an agreement, or you have to explain that we're looking for solutions and not blame. That's really important. Family meetings are not to be used for lecturing and, really, preaching to your kids. It's really to create that problem-solving atmosphere. Going back to last night, if you missed last night, we talked about solutions being respectful, reasonable, related, and helpful. So you're going to want to teach that to kids and teach them what that means. You can simplify it and say, we're really looking to be helpful and not hurtful. So that's a way to simplify that. You want to decide as a family, how are you going to choose the solution. Sometimes it's appropriate to come up with this consensus that we all agree on. Sometimes it's appropriate that the person who puts the problem on the agenda, that they choose the solution they want to try. So you have to come up with those agreements. Before I move on to talking about the structure of the family meetings, I just want to get to the question that I'm seeing, which is, what is the youngest age for family meeting participation? Our 3.5-year-old still struggles to engage in them. You can't put an exact age on it, in the sense that, children develop at their own pace. So if they're not able to sit and focus and they're getting easily distracted, then maybe they're just not ready for it. And again, that doesn't mean they can't be in the room, or you might just have them during the compliments and then have them go off and do a quiet activity. And that's why for all children, we want to keep it to 15, 20 minutes if we can. Okay, so I hope that answers that question. There we go. So let's go through the steps and the process. You can see behind me that I have this poster, family meeting poster, and it says compliments, it says the agenda, brainstorming solutions, choosing one that works for everyone, the calendar, and family fun. So I'm going to go over that a little bit more, but if you wanted to kind of take a screenshot, that might be helpful to you. So step 1, set the timer. Set it for 15 or 20 minutes. If the timer goes off mid-sentence or during something, then respect the time and table it for the next meeting, okay? Because you really want to, with practice, you will get more efficient. Number 2, we always start off with compliments and appreciations. And the reason for that, I've mentioned in the other calls that one of my favorite tools is connection before correction. So the compliments and appreciations are an opportunity to connect with each other. And then the problem solving is the correction, okay, what we're looking to do. Now, you might have to do compliments and appreciations, and you should only do that for the first, I would say, at least 3 to 4, 5, or 6 family meetings. So literally, you come up with your agreements and your jobs, you sit down, you do compliments and appreciations, and you end with the family fun. That's like your first, until you get good at it, okay? Because you don't want to jump right into problem solving and it kind of turns everyone off. So, so that's step 2. And one thing I want to say with compliments and appreciations are that you are, everyone in the family is giving everyone else a compliment or appreciation and themselves, okay? So, and it's important when you're giving compliments and appreciations that we're thinking about how we can, we're not looking at, I like your new haircuts. We're looking at actions and behaviors that people do, okay? The next step is to review the past agenda items. So each time you do problem solving, you'll choose a solution, you'll try it out for a week, and then you'll come back and revisit it to make sure the solution is working. If it is working, great, move on. And if it's not working, then choose another solution to try for a week. And sometimes you have to try multiple solutions. That's why we brainstorm many. Step 4 is to go on to new agenda items. So anyone can put something on the agenda. When you start, make sure you do not put all these parent problems on the agenda at first. Actually, we would recommend that when you do start using the agenda, that for the first at least, half a dozen times, you let the children put the items on the agenda, because it reduces the risk of you starting to lecture and for them to start to feel like this is all about, the mistakes they're making and the things they're doing wrong. Also, brainstorming. When we brainstorm, it's not a time to discuss. We don't discuss and start to analyze. Brainstorming means we get everyone's ideas down. We even like outrageous ideas, right? We get them all down. We don't analyze them. And before we choose one, we just go through them to make sure they all fit into the criteria of being respectful, reasonable, related, and helpful. Okay. Step 5 is then, so we choose a solution. Step 5 is that we review the calendar for the week, and that's something that you can do now, reviewing the routine, how is it going? And then we always end with family fun time. That can be, a nice dessert. It can be a board game. So think about what what it is that you can do together after. And when the timer does go off, it's great to have like a family cheer or a high five, like a way that you're ending it. So like the meeting is over. Okay. So let me see if I'm missing anything. No, I think that's good. So actually right now, my wonderful, encouraging, supportive husband is going to, we are going to model for you compliments and appreciations. So hold on one sec. Okay. He's more camera shy than I am. So everyone, this is my husband, Max. So we're just going to model this for you. And I do want to share those of you that I'm going to snuggle in because it's a small window. Those of you that have really young children, you should be doing couples meetings. Again, it gets you into the habit of practicing these skills, and it really does help the relationship when you do it consistently. So would you like me to start?
Oh, go for it.
Okay. So Max, so I'm holding the talking item. Max, I would really like to appreciate you for attending all of my Facebook Live sessions the past 2 weeks. It's really encouraging to me and really supportive. And I also want to appreciate you for attending my Facebook Live in the mornings that we do with Chloe and with Annabelle and Alex for the I Grow co-affirmations. Having you there makes it more fun. And I appreciate the support. It means a lot to me.
Thank you.
And so notice, we end with a thank you. And now I'm going to give myself a compliment and appreciation. And this is always hard, isn't it? We feel like we're not being humble if we do that. So actually, I want to acknowledge myself for being fully present with Chloe when I'm with her. Every morning we have a few hours where Max is working and special time. And it's amazing to be fully engaged with her. And I'm really proud of myself for doing that and not getting distracted by stressors or by thinking about worrying about things and just really enjoying the special time that I have with her. Your turn.
Hey. It's a joy. I'm really impressed with all the effort that you're actually putting into those night sessions and also the morning session for children with our GoCo. And I find it inspiring.
Thank you, Max.
And one for me. I'm quite pleased or happy with the way I'm currently handling the confinement. And the fact that I'm keeping the motivation and focus on my work with all the disruption and I think for the month I've been doing quite well, trying to find the time and use the time which we've allocated to each other to get the best of those hours and do a lot of work. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. Don't know how long it will last, but I'm pleased with that right now.
Great. Another kiss.
Yes.
And so we're going to end, that's mine, get yours. We're going to end our couples meetings, okay? And that's all you have to do at the start is compliments and appreciations. And we're going to end with a toast and a glass of wine. That's how we end our couples meetings. Thank you, babe.
Bye, everyone.
So I'm going to take a sip. All right, I've been hiding that behind the scenes, all these sessions. So again, you'll notice that we waited till Chloe went to sleep to do that. And sometimes we can do it with her in the room while she's just playing quietly so she can hear the positive engagement. Let me just check on questions here. So Max, you got some hellos. We loved our first 2 family meetings, and our 4-year-old was really involved and excited with participating in our family meetings. After our first 2, he didn't want to do them anymore. It must have been far too long for him. And like you said, we should first just focus on compliments and limit the time. Thank you. Hopefully going forward, we can do this more effectively. Yes, so especially at the beginning, keep them short. Just what Max and I did, go around all the family members and then play a game. That's it, okay? So that they can really get the buy-in and see the value of it. Just connecting, even if that's all you do is connect, that's a really big thing. One question, when discussing a problem, do you say how it feels or just mention the problem and then move on to solutions? So depending, sometimes you can use a bug and a wish during a family meeting. So you can say it bugs me and I wish. That's why we're doing all of these other skills and tools to give children the language and the skills to be able to do family meetings and express themselves effectively. Okay, so that being said, I just want to share so let me actually give you some tips for compliments and appreciations, especially. Number one, I already said that every family member gives everyone else a compliment, including themselves. It's nice to give them language like thank you for, I appreciate, I noticed. Okay, so you can start to teach them some of that language. If someone can't think of a compliment for another family member, then encourage them to ask the family member what they would like to be appreciated for or acknowledged for. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but when we do this in classroom meetings, we actually teach children first how to receive compliments. Okay, now some people think that's not humble, but actually, how many of you are good at receiving compliments? Okay, really receiving them. I know when someone gives me a compliment or appreciation, if someone says, oh, Joy, I like your shoes, I'll go, oh, thanks, I got them on sale. Like, I'll never just say thank you. I always try to diminish it, and we need to learn how to graciously accept compliments. So if I couldn't think of something for Max, I might ask, well, what is it that you would like to be acknowledged for? So that's one thing you can do. Again, also explain to kids that we're focusing on behaviors, again, instead of the behaviors and actions instead of like physical attributes. And this can happen if someone gives what I call a backhanded compliment or appreciation, meaning they say, well, thank you for washing the dishes because you never do it. Right? That's kind of like really not a nice way of saying it. Then you need to encourage them to rephrase it so that it's helpful and not hurtful. Okay? So I hope that helps. Let's see if there's anything else. We had our first family meeting tonight after dinner. Yes, how did it go? Let us know how it went. I'm going to just show you, again, focusing on solutions. This is the tool card. So I'll just read it. Instead of focusing on blame, focus on solutions. 1, identify the problem. 2, brainstorm as many solutions as possible. 3, pick one that works for everyone. 4, try the solution for a week. And 5, in a week, evaluate. If it didn't work, start over. Okay, so I just want to remind you there's a deck of 52 Positive Discipline tool cards for parents that you can order on Jane Nelson's website, positivediscipline.com, or you can get it on the App Store. I think that's everything. Oh, no, something really, really important. After this, I'm going to upload, Jane Nelson has graciously and generously allowed me to upload our 9 steps for effective family meetings onto the Facebook page. And it also gives the do's and don'ts of family meetings. So I would highly encourage that you download it and you use that as a reference. You can watch this again if you need a refresher. And I just want to thank Jane. Actually, she's been really generous with sharing resources with parents and with all of us trainers so that we can share them with parents. It's really incredible to see how everyone's really coming together and supporting. Please, 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 if you would like your specific questions answered by myself and Jane tomorrow, please either put your questions in the comments below under this video or email me at joy@positivediscipline.co.uk. So I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Pour your glass of wine, join us at 8:30 UK time, and stay safe, be well, and I'll see you then. Bye.